let's just do a disclaimer up front. These are my opinions. I'm not here to hurt your feelings. If you love these books, good for you. I'm just telling you what books I did not like in 2021.
Wanna be free of this heart, yeah. Wanna feel your arms up.
What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessie, and today I am doing a follow-up of my last video, which was the top 10 best books of 2021 by doing the top 5 worst books of 2021. Now, I did the disclaimer. Again, I'm not here to hurt your feelings. I'm just here to tell you what books I did not like. And honestly, there was not that many to go for. Everything seemed kind of average or great, but there were 5 books that kind of stuck out to me. And yeah, let's just go ahead and dive into them. Like I said, I only have 5 to go for, so let's just start with number 5, and that is The Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix. This is my first book by Grady Hendrix, but it will not be my last one. Again, not the worst book I've ever read, just it stuck out to me in 2021 and I felt like I wanted to talk about it. I actually did a whole podcast episode with my friend Gwen over on her podcast, Talk Bookish To Me. So a lot of details are in there, including spoilers, but for the general, details, after thinking about it, I think I'm going to give it a 2.5 star. I think on the podcast, maybe I gave it a 3. I can't remember, but 2.5 is definitely where I'm landing on. So this one follows a woman. She is in a support group with other girls in very similar situations where she was the final girl in like a well-known massacre. And for like years they've been meeting and something happens to where they get picked off one by one. This book did not work for me just because the main character was so all over the place, and honestly this book wasn't as thrilling as I thought it would be. There were a lot of nods to like very classic horror movies that you guys should know about, and the whole like plot of the story was just like ups and downs, but not very thrilling or scary. I think this book is classified as horror, but I wouldn't even classify it as horror or thriller. I don't know. I just never felt the thrill or that vibe going for it. So this unfortunately just wasn't it. It wasn't an anticipated release because I was going to be on that podcast. Again, definitely go check out that podcast. I'll link it down below where me and Gwen talk about all the details, but I had a lot of fun reading it for the podcast. However, it did land as a 2.5 star for me. So, all right, so number 4 is the next one we're talking about, and it was in this pile. In case you're curious, I know a lot of people have asked, this is my unhaul pile. So these are books I'm getting rid of. I don't know. Anyways, it's no longer in there because I gave it to a friend because she really wanted to read it, but it is One Day in December by Josie Silver, I believe is the author. And the entire time I read this book, I just rolled my eyes the entire time. So this book follows a woman who is on a train and she locks eyes with someone who is not on the train, or maybe it's a bus, one of the two, but she locks eyes with a guy outside the bus, and she feels this connection between him, and the bus or train takes off, and then she spends an entire year trying to look for him because she feels like she has felt that love at first sight. And this is not a spoiler, it happens very close to the beginning, but it is actually her friend slash roommate's new fiance, boyfriend. It's definitely giving me that like something borrowed movie vibe to it. I know that was based off a book as well, but like the very beginning, I kind of got the vibes that this woman would never fall for this love at first sight trope, but like it was like an instant switch. And I get like that's kind of how it can kind of come for you, but the entire book, I was just like, this is just like making me want to like hurl this book across the room because I was just rolling my eyes, and I know I'm becoming so picky with my romances, and I know this one is loved by so many, but I personally just could not get on board with this. I didn't empathize with any of the characters. I thought the guy was kind of a douche, if you want my personal opinion. I just never ever like empathize with anyone. So unfortunately this was a 2-star read for me. The next one I read because a lot of people don't like it. So I knew I set myself up for failure for this one. But I heard a lot of people talking about this book because it's told backwards. And I just really wanted to read it to see how can a book be told backwards, especially for a thriller. But it is All the Missing Girls by Megan Miranda. I know a lot of people have talked about this one because it's told backwards. I just had to find out for myself, and unfortunately I did not like this book. Big shock. So I gave this one 2 stars. Besides the whole like backwards element of the storyline, it doesn't really have anything special. It's very basic as far as like a plot, like missing girls, obviously. Like there was just nothing really special except for the whole fact that the story is being told backwards. So I personally think that this author, because I've read 1 or 2 other books by this author, and I just don't think me and this author are ever going to click. So Megan Miranda is not something I'm going to initially pick up, but if a book comes out that has a good plot line, we will see. But unfortunately, All the Missing Girls was not it for me, and I completely understand why people did not like this book. So yeah, coming down to the final 2. And I think my number 1 is not going to be any surprise because I have like ranted and raved about this book, about it being so bad. But number 2 is because it is the biggest disappointment of 2021, okay? I love the book No Exit. But Hairpin Bridge just like completely dropped the ball. I wanted to love this book so much, and I even rated it 4 stars. So I was just trying to get into the mindset that, oh, this book is just not as good as No Exit. It's not as good as No Exit. It's never going to live up to No Exit. But then, as it sunk in, this book was just bad. Like, just really, really bad. It was literally the same scene over and over and over again. It follows a pair of twins. One of them has like committed suicide off this bridge, and there was a cop at the scene, and so like the other twin is trying to figure out what's going on, and the cop's like trying to help her, but like, anyways, it was very confusing because I could not keep up with who was who, which twin was twin, which scene went with which twin, and it was just very, very confusing. It literally went nowhere. Like what could have been like an hour scene felt like it took forever to get through, and then you would just get to the next chapter and it would be the exact same scene just with the other twin. It was just, I just didn't like it. Taylor Adams, do better. I mean, I know you wrote a masterpiece for No Exit, but this was not it, okay? So number 1 book that I absolutely did not like, and I know there are a few people that do like this book, and I don't mean to rain on your parade, okay? I just want to tell you that this book was not it, and I knew what was going on pretty early on. The Wrong Family by Taryn Fisher. Okay, Taryn Fisher is one of those authors where I want to pick up her books, but every time I do, I just get so disappointed. Like, probably this is probably my 3rd or 4th book by her, and it's just not it. But do I have her newest book on my most anticipated release of 2022? You know I do. This book, however, was such a train wreck. I knew exactly what was going on. When I was reading it, I was like, is this what's happening? No, this can't be what's happening. Of course it's what was happening. And there was so much, like, the drama in between this book was just not my fave. I personally didn't care. I did not think this book was thrilling at all, okay? But yeah, this was just bad. I'm sorry, but I did not like this book. It's on this like pile back here, and I can't get rid of it. I cannot get rid of it. Nobody wants it. So I think I'm just going to put it in like a free little library. So, but yeah. All right, guys, that is all of the books for 2021 that I personally did not like. So again, if these were any on your favorites list, or if you did really like them, I'm so sorry, but you know, I have an opinion. I didn't like them. I felt like this was good to share, you know. Anyways, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on a future video. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Argument. So I've been trying hard to pretend that I'm okay. It's just a phase, and everything is going just great. I think about you a lot. It's almost like I can't stop. Can't stop. Yeah,